Hey guys, it's Shauna. So we're currently looking at my son's toy bins. These bins hold his open-ended play tubes, his cars, trucks, trains, things like that. But as you can tell, the bins are all messy. And there's actually stuff on the floor. And as we move down the hallway, this is his nature table area. And as you can tell, this needs to be tidied up as well. And as we move into the living room, this is my son's main play area. But this room is actually his dad's room when his dad is here. As you can see by the decorations around, these are his dad's things. So when his dad's here, this is his room. So his dad has asked me to reduce the amount of toys in here and try to organize some of the stuff. And as you can tell, my son, when he plays, he does make a mess, and he's pretty good. Like the toy bins out in the hallway, he does throw things back in there. It's just a little messy, but I also think that he has a little much. So I think I'm just going to downsize. Plus there's some toys like on the shelves that are more like infant toys. So it's just time to just have a look at things and reorganize them. As you can tell, as you come along here, his bookshelf is overflowing. These baskets are all mixed up, and there's things down here that are infant toys and stuff on this shelf. And like I said, this is his dad's area, so I just want to kind of neaten things up a little bit and reorganize and get rid of the things we no longer need, and maybe donate them or take some of the stuff that he really likes playing with over to my mom's house, considering he's there during the day, my son, while I'm at work. So I'm going to start by getting my son to help me vacuum and start tidying up some of these toys. And I'll try to add a clip in of that, and then I'm going to start pulling things off the shelves and putting them into piles and just, like I said, reorganizing things. So I've pulled all my son's books off of this middle shelf here, and I got some wipes, and I'm just wiping the shelf down. And I think what I'm going to do with this shelf is I'm going to see if these two baskets here will fit on this shelf and make this area the books, and then that way there's less books out here because there'll be a smaller space. I'm going to see how that works. Now there's a lot of books here that we do read a lot, but considering my son is at my mom's house most of the day, we only really read these books, or my son looks at them when he's home and maybe before bedtime. So I'm gonna keep some out, like this one, because like the 4th of July is coming up, but there's books on the shelf that are off season, like this Hanukkah book, and we have an Easter book down here. So I'm gonna be pulling those out and putting them away in our book cupboard. But yeah, I started with the shelf first. We're going to try to organize this shelf in this area, and then we'll go down to this lower one down here. Again, this has a lot of toys that don't belong down here. So I'll check back in with you in a couple moments. So I kind of moved some of my son's books over here. This is the heat vent, but the heat is off right now because it's it's almost summertime here in Toronto. So I moved some of my son's books over here that were related to summer, and this one is Stars and Stripes because 4th of July is coming up soon, and right now it's June and it's Pride Month, so I added this book, and I added my son's Pride flag and these large chunky letters from the dollar store that spell out Pride, so that it's just for him to play with and use them as letter recognition. So I can say to him, like, where's the letter P, where's the letter I, and then I can help him put them in order and spell out the word pride. And then I have this book here for him to look at as well. And then this one, Why I Love Canada, because Canada's Day is coming up too. And this last one here is A Day at the Beach, because like I said, summertime is coming up pretty soon. I'll just show you over on the bookshelf now what I've done over there. So the books that I wanted to keep out did fit in here nicely. So we have this nice little book area now. And then over here, these two bins I didn't sort out yet, but they're up here and they fit nicely. This bin is supposed to hold my son's Mega Bloks, and this one is supposed to house airplanes, helicopters, spacecrafts, things like that. So what I did in the middle here was I added some books about different types of transportation in the middle there. Now down here, I put this larger book because it wouldn't fit like standing up this way on any of the shelves, so I left that one down there. That's his Thomas book, and then I left this one out too. Just he really likes this book right now. It's one of those sound books. And there's two puzzles here, which I'm going to move to the puzzle shelf, and same with this little toy here, because right now we have this area set up right now because of Canada Day coming up, and this is a Canadian animals book, and I had some of my son's animal figurines up here that we have here in Canada, but they are blocking his dad's DVDs, and he doesn't want them to be up here anymore. So I'll just show you my little area where I keep some DVDs. So under like my son's father shelf here is where I keep my little section of DVDs. So I think what I'm going to do is move my son's little items that are there, and I'll make this his little Canada animal shelf instead, because I don't really care if my DVDs are being blocked. So I'm going to move those over here and make a little area for my son to have his animals set up over here. So as you can see, my son's father's shelves are no longer being blocked by any of my son's items, and he's free to get to his DVDs whenever he wants. And like I said, I just moved my son's Canada animals over to my DVD shelf, which really doesn't bother me. And just wanted to show you some of the books that I'm kind of getting rid of. So all these books here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are heading over to my mom's house because you know, these are books he likes. I don't really necessarily want to get rid of them because he does enjoy them, and he's at my mom's, so he can read them over there. Now over here, this book I took off the shelf. This is one of the first books my son ever had as a baby, so this is I'm gonna put in his like baby box, I guess, so he can have it when he's older. These two books, which are Smurf books, they're actually mine. My son just likes looking at them. I'm gonna be moving these into my room, and you know, my son saves some space on his shelves, and then he can still look at them in like our bedroom. So there's those two books are coming off. Now these are all books that were like off season, I guess. It's not like, you know, winter or stuff like that. So 2 winter books, and then we have some holiday books like Easter, Hanukkah, Easter, and then I had these 2 for like Chinese New Year kind of. So those books are all gonna go away in our book cupboard. And then over here were these 2 books here. Now my son, I think these books are more of his infant type books, so I'm going to be donating these over to probably to Value Village. So that's where what progress I've made so far. I'm going to continue sorting out these toys and stuff, and I'll check back in a couple of moments. Sorry, it's just hard for me to film and while I'm doing things, because I am using a cell phone, and I don't have anything to hold the phone as I film, so I just got to keep on checking back in with you as I more progress is done in the room. Then I can show you what I've done. So I've started to sort out some of my son's toys. So here we have the mini Mr. Potato Head, so I'm putting them back in their container. And then I have these 4 bins here from IKEA. So what I thought I would do is I started putting like Duplo blocks in this one, and then his pretend play dress up items in this one, and his tools and things like that. And then in this one I have, it's kind of mixed up right now, but this one I think will house some of those cardboard tubes that my son likes to play with during his open-ended play. The doctor kit stuff is going to get sorted back into its actual box, and then that can go in this bin. And then this last one here will be for his Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, along with those smaller Mr. and Mrs. Potato Heads. So I'm just sorting out the toys in these bins. I'll check back once they're sorted out. So I've taken all of my son's cardboard tubes and pieces of cardboard and things like that that he uses, and now it's emptied these two bins out completely. But I do have to downsize the amount that he has, which will be recycling. So I'm going to show you now getting rid of some of the things and putting them in one of those orange bins. So here's all the cardboard pieces I was talking about. My son also has these two plastic end things from a Saran Wrap. Most of these cardboards either came from packages of stuff like when we ordered our shelves, they were wrapped around them. And then these ones here, the lady gave them to me from IKEA. This came off of something we ordered. And then the rest are like paper towel rolls, gift wrap rolls, and this larger one here comes from my work. I'm a caretaker at a daycare. These are the ones we use for our toilet paper. So I try to save these items, just keep them out of the landfill. And my son really enjoys playing with them. He makes bridges, ramps, houses for his animals, tunnels for his cars out of them. But I think he has a little much, so I'm just going to start sorting them out and kind of downsizing them and putting them in this empty bin. So those actually fit pretty nicely in there, and I did let my son keep a fair amount because, like I said, he uses these a lot, especially when he's playing with his cars and stuff. So the ones I am getting rid of are these four here. I'm not sure if I'll take them to my mom or I'll end up recycling them, or we might use them for some arts and craft project, but at least I downsized them a little bit, and I'm sure there's going to be more that I find, probably in his bedroom and stuff. But for now, these bins pretty well organized. So Duplo blocks and his dramatic play stuff, these cardboard things, and then his Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head stuff. So, and these bins do have lids, so they'll stack up nicely with each other. I'm just gonna have to find a new home and see where I'm gonna place these, but I think this is much more organized than it was before. I just want to show you where I placed these orange bins. The one that contained the dramatic play stuff is in my son's bedroom now, just because he has a dramatic play area in his bedroom. So I also had a fifth bin, so that one that had the doctor's kit and the tools is in the bedroom now. This one contains my son's magnet tubes and stuff with the magnetic balls, so that's gonna stay there. And then on top of that one is where I'm going to be putting all his Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head parts. I still need to add the mini ones in here, but I want to make sure I have all the mini Mr. and Mrs. Potato Heads first before adding them to this bin. So this bin does stack up nicely right on top of this one. So this is just under my desk, which is right beside his toy bin. And as you come along, his toy bin is still his nature table. And under his nature table, I put these Velcro blocks in this clear container here. And inside this bin, when it comes out, he can move this easily out of the way. And then this bin is where I put all the cardboard tubes and pieces of cardboard. And then these bins are also sturdy, so if you wanted to, he could pull this out and use this as a little stool, just if you wanted to sit here at his nature table. So that's where I put those bins, and I'll show you where the other one is. And the other bin is out here in the living room still. It's the one he plays with the most right now. It's the Duplo box. It's got all the little Duplo pieces, so that's there, and it's just underneath where my fish tank is. And the space now is empty because it housed all these larger cars and stuff, and there's the boats that need to go in the bathtub toys, and some of these cars and stuff need to get downsized. My son also has two of these, I guess they're called trip traps, where the cars flip over and go down the ramps. This plastic one connects together, and I bought it for him that comes with one car, but then my dad bought him this nice wooden one here, so I think the wooden one's gonna stay, and this plastic one here will go over to my mom's house, so you can have one over there to play with. So I'm gonna get rid of all these toys here and reorganize them and see what can go, and I'll check back with you in a couple more moments once I've organized these items. So I just want to show you what I've done so far. So these bins here that house all my son's blocks and trains and cars and stuff like that, I'm going to leave for my son to help me sort out, and that way he can help me make the decision on the things that stay. And then afterwards I can do a final purge afterwards, and hopefully we'll get rid of you know, a few of these items to save some space. His nature table, I did neaten it up just a little bit, but I did leave it a little bit messy because that's the way he plays with it and interacts with these finds from nature. So let's take you out here. This stuff on the floor either has to go away somewhere, or it's going to my mom's, or donations. So this green bag here is donations, and along with this over here, busy beads kind of thing. And then these are the books that are going in the bedroom. This is for our sensory, so that has to go in the sensory bin. This bag here is going to my mom's house. The toilet there is going with his dramatic play stuff with his baby doll. This here, the zoo thing, is going to go to my mom's house because he does have a smaller one, so we don't need this large one here. This bin here is all like trashed up. It's sadly like his little butterfly thing broke into two and it's making a weird noise, so that's gonna go in garbage. This thing broke. He, like, you know, chewed this drill thing, so that's just garbage. And then over here are all the items that have to go away, like in his bedroom. They're off season, like these little heart pillows my mom made. That bear with the rose on his foot is actually mine. We have his little Santa elf here. And then his room is under the sea theme, so like that item and the fish need to go in his bedroom. And again, we have a pig from the Year of the Pig. This came from Valentine's Day, Easter, so that has to go away in Easter. His little chick is from Easter, and same with this is from Christmas. And then this little dog here actually belongs in our American Girl doll house. That's the Whedon puppy from American Girl. And the last thing I have to do is just sort this little pile out here. So I'm going to finish just quickly picking up all the rest of these items and get rid of the stuff that doesn't belong in this room. And then I'll do a final tour. Here is the final tour of everything reorganized. So I'll just show you quickly what we have going on. So over here I did leave my son's like shopping cart and his wagon and some of his little like house pieces. He does have his two houses and log, like his house here and a log cabin. This is the smaller zoo thing, so I left that there. And his place, Fisher-Price Little People like playground, the airport. And then in here I organized these by category. So we have his reptiles, a little bit of Mega Bloks, people bin, probably still needs to be downsized, but I left the ones like I know he plays with a lot. Just a few cars out here. And then this one has sea animals, and this one has his like insects and stuff like that. Then down here we have some more Little People things. So here is the Little People's circus, and my son loves elephants, so I left his elephant collection in front of there. And then we just have some more pieces here, like the little carnival pieces. And then as we move up here, this is where I left his like stuffed animals, the ones he really enjoys playing with, and his little robot. Up here is like his diapering and pajamas. And then there's nothing on his dad's shelf here. Here I left some like learning stuff, so I have these pieces, his lockboard, things like that. His rocking moose is still here. Over here I left this large dinosaur and this fake fur and a piece of felt, so he can play with those if he wants. This is his sorting thing, so it's by color, so he's got these little dinosaurs in here that match the colors, so I just left that there for him. And in here I organized these and took some of the dinosaurs out. So dinosaurs, zoo animals, which again maybe have to be downsized a little bit more. And the last one is like a farm bin. Up here, like I showed you, is just Pride and upcoming holiday items. And then as we come over here, his slide is behind this table here, and he does have a mat that's there from IKEA. I just put it under the sofa temporarily. His larger ride-along vehicles are just under this table here, and also his favorite elephant and this large dinosaur from Build-A-Bear. And then up here I just left some more learning stuff, like some puzzles, his little Simon Says thing there, and this Melissa and Doug stacker, so, and this hammer and pegs. And then we have a scooter back there and this large globe ball from the Dollar Tree. And then over here is the little Canadian animal shelf. And then his larger vehicles are just moved down here. We have like his cash register and that IKEA ring stacker. Could probably go, but he does use it as like in his open-ended play, so I just kind of left it down there. So, and his little dinosaur flashlight and the little bank from Walmart. And as we come along here, this is where the fish tank is, and I just left these two bins. So I left his, I'm not sure what this is called, but it's like a, I think they're called trip traps with the little cars where you drop the cars down and they flip over and come down the ramp. So that went nicely in the middle of these two bins. So I showed this bin earlier. This is the Duplo blocks. And then this one is the dramatic play box that I originally put in the bedroom, but I moved it back out here just to make it look more kind of uniformed. And then I left his fireman hat there. And then this is our little book area now. So I downsized the books. I moved his puzzles down here. So, and then we have some smaller ones. Sorry, it's a little dark, but there's some smaller ones back there. And then these are all books about means of transportation. This bin here does have like the Mega Block cars like I wanted to, and his car mat and some car ramps. But there are also some items in here that my son needs to look at too and maybe get rid of some of them. This bin here, I did reorganize it, so it's all his space items like robots, astronauts, helicopters. There's like his airplanes and stuff like that, so I left everything like that in there. And the last item in this room is his waffle blocks. So I sent a video clip to his dad, and his dad appreciated what I did, and he said the room looks a lot more organized now. So anyways, I just wanted to share, you know, how I'm trying to organize my son's toys in our small apartment. Thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care. Bye.